The walk starts from the Roman town of Dorchester-on-Thames in Oxfordshire. And here's a pretty striking view of Dorchester Abbey. There's the octagonal toll house, which was built at the same time as the bridge over the River Thames and was in operation until 1873. By the way, the Romans first built a settlement at Dorchester in around AD 635. The walk passes the Catholic church of St. Birinus, built in 1849. Another view of the church of St. Birinus. Now getting out into the countryside and heading towards the River Thames. Great views ahead, although it is a bit hazy today. The walk goes past what looks like an old pillbox. That's the way ahead. I've now joined a section of the Thames Path and I'm heading towards Days Lock. The river, as you can see, is to my left. And there, as you can see, is an official Thames Path sign confirming we're on the Thames Path. There's Little Wittenham Bridge over the Thames. Little Wittenham Bridge. Over there is the area of Days Lock, which I have to cross. The dramatic weir at Days Lock. There's the lock itself. As you can see, I've now crossed to the other side of the river at Days Lock. These grey painted gates seem to be a feature of the upper parts of the Thames Path. Still on the Thames Path, of course. Still on the Thames Path, as you can see. And over to my left, there's a hazy view of Didcot Power Station. The walk leaves the Thames Path here and turns left along that path over that raised wooden area and down that way. Now away from the Thames Path, heading along this big wide path towards the village of Long Wittenham. St. Mary's Church, Long Wittenham. The church was built in 1120. The War Memorial at Long Wittenham. Now on the path that leaves Long Wittenham, on this section of the path you can clearly see Didcot Power Station. At a bend in the path it turns left and we get this better view. This is still the path that heads out of Long Wittenham. Now at the road, there's the footpath sign pointing back towards Long Wittenham. The walk leaves the road by this bridleway. The walk doesn't go to South Morton though, as far as that. And that's the way ahead. Now heading up downhill. At the top there's an amazing view over to Didcot, but as I said before, it's very hazy today. I've turned left at the top of downhill along this path. On the next footpath there are views ahead to Wittenham Clumps. There they are. And and that's the way ahead. It bends to the left. Now on Castle Hill, one of the Wittenham Clumps. The other is Round Hill, which you can see ahead. Great views to the left. Here is the memorial stone to the poem tree. A poem was carved into the tree by Joseph Tubb in 1844 to 45. This stone commemorates the 150th anniversary of the carving of the poem. You cannot visit the actual poem tree. Great views from the poem tree memorial stone. You can see Dorchester Abbey, which featured earlier in this video. The walk is now heading back to Dorchester. Now on Round Hill, the other Wittenham Clump, and there's the view to the River Thames. Now descending from Round Hill and heading towards Little Wittenham. You can see the church ahead. The 14th century church of St Peter, Little Wittenham. Now crossing Little Wittenham Bridge over the Thames. This bridge featured earlier in the video from the riverbank. This walk is a sort of figure of 8. Now heading back to Dorchester along this narrow hedge-lined path. The path has just crossed over the Dyke Hills earthworks, which is thought to be Iron Age. A better view of some of the Dyke Hills Iron Age earthworks. And that path there is the way ahead. I'm about to go inside Dorchester Abbey, so the next shots will be inside. I hope you enjoyed those shots of inside Dorchester Abbey. I'm now back in the centre of Dorchester and at the end of the walk.